Afternoon, everyone. Bobby Bama. Just wanted to pop on here real quick and do kind of a proof of life video that I survived Jay's Minuteman Field Challenge in northern Ohio. It was a lot of fun, and just to prove that I survived, I have my survivor's plaque that was given to me by Jay and all the rest of the guys that made it through, which was everyone. But anyway, I wanted to just give a quick kind of after action report, a little bit of what happened, and just how extremely excited I am to have been a part of this. It was a absolute blast. It was a learning experience unlike anything I've ever had in this field, and it was just unbelievable. A greater group of guys could not have gotten together at one time. Everyone that was there, Modern Minuteman, just an absolute first-class guy. What you see on video is exactly what you get in person. Very knowledgeable, very professional, very good dude. As were all the other people. Clinton at SOS, Jay at Prepared Citizens, Bad Dream, Watchdog Preparedness, and Paul, and then myself, of course. It was really just a fun time. I'm really thankful that the campfire can't tell tales, because some of the stories and jokes that were told were epic. Let me just put it that way. And it was just an absolute blast. First, I would be remiss if I didn't thank a few people. Modern Minuteman was able to get together and have some sponsors for the event who provided some really awesome stuff for the guys, and we really appreciate it. Crossfire Packs, just generous beyond belief. Prepared Citizens, Swish Outdoors and Survival, who you'll hear referred to as Clinton. Hard-Headed Veterans provided an ATE bump helmet and God's Plaid, absolute awesome gift. The Professional Citizen Project, he provided some books and some notebooks and stickers and the sort. Myself provided stickers and patches and things such as that for all the participants. Bad Dream, Watchdog Preparedness, and kind of the godfather of all of this, Grunt Proof, who seems to be the one that kicked this sort of thing off and keeps us motivated and going in the right direction. So really quick, we traveled, the three of us, Bad Dream, Prepared Citizens, and myself, traveled from here in Alabama up to northern Ohio. I will say this, that if you're not going for an FTX, it's worth just going up there just to see the countryside. It is remarkably beautiful and remote, and it's Amish country, and the people up here could not have been nicer. So we arrived on Friday afternoon. Was pretty much spent getting camp set up, getting sleeping arrangements situated, and then a light dinner that was provided by Modern Minuteman, and then we took off for a late afternoon, dusk, early dark property patrol to familiarize ourselves with the property. An outstanding, just unbelievably great piece of property. I believe it was 79 acres. Not a whole lot of elevation to it, but a lot of trails, a lot of heavily wooded, not so heavily wooded, and swamps that provided challenges on their own. But just a really great place. The owner gracious enough to allow us all to be there. It's the place that Modern Minuteman trains routinely, but the owner was gracious enough and kind enough to let us all participate. We met him and another outstanding fellow in his own right. So Friday we did the late evening, early dark property patrol. Learned a lot about the boundaries of the property and how it was laid out, kind of what the challenge was going to be like. Saturday morning we got up and everybody had, again, Modern Minuteman provided a excellent breakfast for us all, and we enjoyed that. And better than anything, he had more coffee than we could drink, so that was a plus also. We got our gear out, sprayed it down with permethrin to keep the bugs and the ticks and the things off of us. Then we had a time to double check, triple check all of our kit, and you know, I had spent weeks putting together, repacking, reevaluating, redoing all these things, and the best laid plans bite you in the butt sometimes. So when I got up there and when we got ready to kick off, I realized I didn't have a compass. A little hard to do land nav without a compass. So that was my first boo-boo, error, embarrassment, and there's more to come, I can assure you. And then, so Modern Minuteman loaned me a compass, which I was thankful for. Finished up with double checking our gear, making sure everybody was being hydrated and had plenty of water and electrolytes and all the things that you need when you do this sort of thing. And then we got together, had a brief inspection, went to the starting point, and had a prayer offered by Modern Minuteman, and then we began. We went off individually, and the first part of the challenge was that we had targets to shoot. We shot a target at 50, 100, and 235 yards. One at the 50 yard. One shot at the 50 yard, two at the 100 yard, and then one at the 235 yard, or maybe it was two and one. But anyway, and then once you accomplish that, you were provided with your waypoint, your compass bearing, and the sort, and we had a map of the property, and we had a set rally point to where everybody would start from, and we all knew where that was from the walk Friday evening. So once everybody had shot, I think I was maybe the third person off. Was fortunate, hit all my targets. I think I may have had one miss at 235, and then we struck off. Because of the way the rifle range was set up, we had to go, instead of going this way, we had to go back behind us and walk around the edge of the property to find the trail to take us to our rally point. Though, anyway, I went that way, and then another contestant that came off behind me, tall fellow, like 6'3", 6'4", and I'm 5'8", so his strides were a bit longer than mine. So he caught up with me, and we both sort of started looking for the entrance to the path to take us to the rally point. He and I both missed the entrance to the path, and we ended up wandering around, and we finally decided we would split up. One of us found it, we'd let the other one know. Be honest with you, I never did find it, and I'm not sure whether he did or not, but there was a railroad track that was part of where we would do the rally point. So instead of getting out on the railroad track in the lateral danger area, I stayed inside the wood line and walked until I got to the rally point. The only problem was there is that the woods were pretty thick, then they thin up, but then the swamps came about, so there was a lot of boxing around, going around, some minor water crossing. So anyways, long story short, I spent about 30 or 40 minutes trying to make my way to the rally point, which should have been probably the easiest thing that happened, but it wasn't. So by that time, I get to the rally point, and I've spent 30, 40 minutes in the woods. It's 84 degrees with like 86% humidity. I was sweating, and it was full kit and rifle, full kit, and I think Bad Dream weighed his. It was somewhere around 25, 28 pounds. As everyone knows, I'm an older guy. I'm 66. and not in the greatest of shape. I'm not a slug, but not far from it. And so when I got there, I was pretty much spent. Drank a fair amount of water, took a compass bearing, and started off. And I missed something in the early briefing that Jay at Prepared Citizens had provided for Bad Dream and myself about compass bearings and readings. And I got all fouled up on that, so I wandered around another 30 minutes in the general vicinity of the waypoint. I just made a couple of little small mistakes that cost me about another 30-35 minutes of wandering around, probably another 10 pounds of sweat, and or many gallons of perspiration. And for lack of a better term, Paul was kind of a monitor, marshal, who was walking the trails and making sure that everybody was safe, and would offer a modicum of assistance if necessary. He saw me, he came over there, and he was like, "Buddy, you need to drink some more water. You need to take it easy. You want to give it up," and kind of pissed me off, to be honest with you. He meant it in the proper terms. He wasn't being an ass, but it just fired something in my gut, and I was like, hell no, I'm going to find these things. We had 5 waypoints that we were supposed to find, and they were scattered over these 79 acres. So needless to say, Paul took my rifle. He did do that. I did allow that, and then I found the first waypoint, and I had walked all around it. I just didn't see it. And had I been doing my compass bearings in a better way, I wouldn't have had any trouble. Now that I understand what I did wrong, I think I could go back and find all those waypoints much easier. But then he was like, "Well, come on, drink some more water, and we'll go back." And I'm like, "Nope." He's like, I said, "You're going to make me go back?" And he's like, "Nope, not going to make you go back, but you've got to understand, I don't know how you feel, but I can tell you how you look, and I really think you need to consider calling it." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." Been a long time since I got my ass up on my shoulders about not being able to do something, and it really fired me up, really inspired me. And so he's like, "All right, you want to find the second one?" And I'm like, "I do." He said, "Well, I'm going to go with you," because he was very concerned, and in hindsight, he was right. I mean, he was absolutely right to be concerned. I was way past where I should have been as far as dehydration and all of that sort of stuff. But anyway, we started. He was going with me, and we started, and I recognized, and with his help, I asked a couple of questions, and I decided that at this particular point, for this next particular waypoint, that is as vital as the compass bearing and all of that was, I was in an area where the terrain association was much easier to employ and to find this second waypoint. There was sizable swamp on the left side, a uniquely shaped, kind of kidney-shaped swamp on the right-hand side, and the path that I was traveling made an intersection, a T-intersection, and then the next place further on down made like a 90-degree bend in the trail, which we had covered when we were doing the walk in the afternoon, evening. So that helped a lot to be able to find the second one. The second one was a considerably bit of distance further off of the trail, back in the woods, than the first one. So I had to navigate back through it. Pretty thick underbrush, a lot of downed limbs, vines. There were also gopher holes. I've never seen gopher holes that I guess, but these things were this big, and they were in the most inopportune places. You would come up on top of a rise and just left, right of center. Just as you make that rise, there'd be a damn gopher hole. And 1,000 wonders none of us stepped off and broke a leg or whatever. But then you would go down, and then there'd be another one down at the bottom. I guess there was an entrance and an exit or something. So anyway, I had to go around. It took me a bit to get over to the second waypoint, and they were really well thought out. There was large clear Ziploc bags that had various different colored zip ties, and there was surveyor's tape around the tree trunk that marked the area, and the zip ties were down below them, except in the second place. There was a little challenge thrown in there. You had to find a bag that had the zip ties, and I had about enough energy to make it to the tree that had the surveyor's tape on it. And I'll be honest with you, I was stumbling and bumbling, and I was having a hard time navigating the 5 or 6 feet past that and a distance left or right. And it was the bag was inside of a rotting, hollowed out log, and I didn't see the keeper elf, because if I did, I was going to get a cookie from him for the energy. But anyway, I did that, and you were to put your zip tie on your kit so that when you came back, you would show that and get your next assignment. I wanted to, with all my heart, go to the third waypoint. I wanted to try it, and when I looked at where the third waypoint was, and in hindsight, it was probably a good thing that I didn't do it, simply because it was the furthest away, and even the winner in the second place, Jay at Prepared Citizens and Clinton at SOS Outdoors, first and second, had a hard time finding this place, and it was the furthest that I would have had to have traveled. About this time, Paul was like pretty insistent that I needed to go back, and when I saw that, I was pretty defeated, and got pretty mad at myself, because I thought I could make 3. I wasn't ever convinced going into this that I thought I could make 5 just because of my age and my physical condition. And I thought that 3 would be a very respectable number to make. And of course, we had no idea where these waypoints were going to be. It was just my mindset had it that I could do this. I could get the 3. I'd be 3/5 of the way done. I would feel like I had accomplished something and something to be really proud of. And stopping at 2, it hurt. It really did. It was bad. I mean, I didn't break down and cry like a baby or nothing. I was just so mad at myself that and so dejected with my having to acknowledge that this was as far as I could go. And even if I had not had my kit, I'm not sure I could have done it. Just boots, pants, and shirt. Not sure I could have done it. Anyway, so we started back, and Paul called in on the radio. That was another thing. Once you found your waypoint, you radioed in that you'd found your waypoint and that you were on your way back, so that they could watch for you. Because of the way the shooting range was, again, instead of taking the most direct route back, we had to backtrack the way we came in and make our way back to the starting point. Paul radioed in, let them know I was coming in. Jay with the Prepared Citizens. We'd run across him, and he was kind enough to, he was going back to get his next assignment, his next waypoint. He was kind enough to carry my rifle back, and Paul made me, and I willingly gave him my pack and my DZ rig to help me get back, and I drank water all the way back to the starting point. Got there and pretty much had a very hard time for the next hour. coming to terms with the fact that I had let myself down, which was the hardest part of it, and realizing that I'm an old man, and I just couldn't keep up with the young guys. And had I been in a little better shape, I think I could have done maybe the third one, but I even at that point, I don't think I could have gone past the third one. I might could have, but I don't know. But 66 years old, not in the greatest shape, and had never done anything like this before. I've had some land nav training, but it was very light packs, no weapons, group of guys walking through the woods kind of thing. So nothing quite so tough. So anyway, came back, had to bow out, and sat, rehydrated, did the electrolytes, did all that. And then a severe thunderstorm blew up. So we had to take a tactical pause. It lasted about an hour or so. So everybody was there under a pop-up tent that we were trying to keep from blowing away in the wind and the storm. And everybody had a chance to cool off and rehydrate and all of that. And the one thing I think I forgot to mention is that when you came in, after you found your waypoint and came back to the starting point, you were given a field challenge, hence the name. You started off with the field challenge of shooting. Then you had to do something like purifying water, setting up an expedient shelter, starting fire, those sort of things, just average field challenges. And so I got to watch everybody do that. They would come in, get their next waypoint. Now, before you could start your next waypoint, you had to shoot again. And the whole concept is that you would leave, go find your waypoint, navigate back, turn it in, do your field challenge, and then immediately shoot your targets before you could move to your next. And the idea behind that was that it would simulate being under stress. You've walked this distance, you've done your field challenge, now you got to shoot your targets, and you got to hump it back out there. Everyone did really, really well. A couple of folks, you could tell that the heat, the stress of the walking and doing the things, and then shooting towards the later stages. A couple of people were showing a little bit of wear and tear, but did excellent under the circumstances. Anyway, it went off without a hitch. Clinton and Jay were having a very friendly rivalry amongst 11 Bravo, former infantrymen. The testosterone underneath that pop-up tent was rising with every joke, every crack, every your mama kind of moment. And when they left out of there, they were both humping it. And there was no doubt that one of the two of those guys was going to win it. At that time, Clinton had a slight edge over Jay in time. And so they went out of there, and Jay was like, oh, hell no, he's not. And so it was very interesting to watch young, experienced, physically fit people do what they did. It was almost art form like. I mean, you could see it in their face, you could see it in their eyes. They knew the plan, they knew what what was next, knew what was expected, and it was damned awesome just to get to watch it. So anyway, long story short, things ebbed and flowed up until the last minute, and somewhere way off in the back of the property, prepared citizens pulled ahead, and what I was told in typical 11 Bravo style, he reported in that he found his last waypoint. He was on his way back. Clinton still had not found his last waypoint, but he was not far behind him. And we heard a noise coming back up behind us. Turned around and looked, and here comes prepared citizens. Jay, double timing it back to the check-in point, and he pulled off the wind, and was maybe 5 minutes ahead of Clinton. And I will tell you this, and this is one thing that kind of made me not feel quite so down on myself and so upset and dejected, was when all those guys, and there was a younger guy than Clinton and Jay, prepared C, they were spent. I mean, it was obvious. I mean, they weren't like I was, but they were spent, and the word Jello legs was thrown around, and it was unbelievable. So anyway, when it was all said and done, the owner had this really nice farm pond that he invited everyone to go take a dip in. So everyone but me, I think, took advantage of the dip in there. Problem was that to get out of the pond, you had to pull yourself up on a dock that was on the water, and just quite frankly, I just didn't have the energy, and I wasn't going to be embarrassed enough to have people help me get out of the water. So I stayed high and dry, but I was still drinking my water and electrolytes and doing my thing. So then after that, we went back, got some refreshments, adult and otherwise, and sat down, and Modern Minuteman handed out the prizes, the plaques, and all the things that were supplied by the sponsors. So that was pretty much it. That night, hamburgers, and everybody was pretty exhausted, but fair amount of adult beverages were taken advantage of, and even as tired as everybody was, most everybody stayed up until at least midnight, talking and laughing and reliving today's events. And I do want to thank a couple of people before I move forward. I want to thank all of the participants. Every one of them was genuinely supportive of me, and meant a lot. So thanks to Swish and Prepared Citizens, Modern Minuteman, Bad Dream, Watchdog Preparedness, and Paul, I couldn't thank you any more genuinely for your support. And I would definitely do it again if given the opportunity, and I would encourage each and every one of you to seek out something like this and try it if you're inclined. I guess in closing, what I'd like to say is that while I was disappointed in myself, I was not disappointed in the event. Modern Minuteman is a true professional in every sense of the word, from putting together this challenge to running it, keeping it fair, keeping it fun, keeping it safe. I mean, there just really was not any real deficit that detracted from the event. And I have said this a couple of times, or many times since coming back and while I was there, every one of these guys that you see that participated is exactly how you see them on YouTube. There's not a persona of, you know, I'm good, I do this, I'm that, blah, 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 and then when you meet them in person, they're assholes. That's not the case. This was a group of guys that are exactly as advertised and as seen on YouTube. So a couple of takeaways personally. I would spend more time with hands-on training about compass reading, bearings, land nav itself, the actual get out and get the work done. Obviously, my physical conditioning I will be working on, have started working on, and I hope by the next time, if another event comes up, or if I'm so blessed to be asked to go back again, that I would be able to go even further next time. But the main thing is that you just, I don't remember which creator says it, maybe Grunt Proof or maybe Stoker. I don't really know who it is, but talk's cheap and training's where it's at. I mean, you really don't know. I didn't know. I had some ideas. Some were a bit delusional. Some were I didn't give myself quite enough credit in some regards. But all in all, there is no substitute for getting out there and doing what you do in this training environment, because it does not lie. You can lie to yourself, you can lie to your buddies, you can lie at the bar, telling your friends, but when you're out there and you're out there in a group of folks that you're training with and doing the things with, there's no lie. Everybody knew everybody's condition before, during, and after the event, and so it's the great lie detector, being out there training. So really, that's about it. I hope I didn't run too long. Hope I didn't lose anybody's interest, but I would seriously encourage you that if you get an opportunity, should an invite like this come along, please don't let your age stop you. Now that it's been since Saturday, I had a bad dream, prepared C, and I had about a 12, 13-hour drive back home, having talked about it, having thought about it, having relived it, having taken the emotion of being butthurt that I couldn't do it out of the equation, and some real self and honest self-reflection. I didn't do half bad. Pretty proud of myself, actually. Everybody kept telling me that, but I couldn't see it at the moment. But given the opportunity to reflect on it, I'm pretty proud of my old ass. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you have more direct questions or comments that you'd like to email to me, the email's bobbybama@bobbybama.com. Feel free to shoot me an email. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer. I will tell you this, that there's a reason you see all these people on YouTube with crossfire packs, DZ rigs, pack shells. That shit works. It was so different than the kit that I'd been running in the past, the LBEs and all of that stuff. I mean, it just it's comfortable, it's adjustable. It is a one-size-fit-all in some ways, but I mean, we were able to adjust mine. Some people were running the DZ rig right along their belt line. Mine was more comfortable for me. I don't know why. Just slightly above the belt line, but it rested better on my shoulders, felt more comfortable around my waist, and that stuff's tight. I mean, it's roomy, and it short of putting metal canteen cups and metal canteens together, it hardly makes any noise at all. It is the reason why so many people are running crossfire kit. So anyway, it's expensive, but it's worth every penny of it. So if you get an opportunity and interested in it, please check them out, as well as all the other sponsors, because they all did go above and beyond what anyone would have expected. So thanks again. I hope everyone enjoyed this. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Everybody stay safe and have a good weekend. See ya.